Shields up, Ironbreakers. Rurikhan here coming at you with another video, and today we're going to be talking about what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of months, because as you guys are no doubt aware, we recently had the final free title update for Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and that brought with it the Fatalis encounter, which was friggin' phenomenal, as well as a bunch of new events which were later deployed during the Fun Fright Festival, which is currently live in the game. As a matter of fact, we just got a new event added just yesterday, and there's already a video on the channel talking about that for those of you interested. But I believe that at this point we are looking at what are probably going to be some of the last new events added into the game. Now there's potential for a couple of new events popping up during the Chinese Lunar Year Festival as well as the Astral Festival, which will be taking place later in the year. But ultimately, I think that there's potential for an Arch-Tempered Ruiner maybe showing up in there, or maybe, something else. But in terms of actual new content, like, a Fatalis, an Alatreon, something of that magnitude, we're pretty much done, because Capcom has stated that, look, we're going to do this game, we're going to support it for about a year, then we're going to do the G rank expansion, or the Master rank expansion, whatever you want to call it, and support that for a year, and then we're going to move on to other projects. And I understand that there are some people that are not super excited about playing a Monster Hunter game on the Switch. I even made a video also talking about that. Personally, I'm super excited about that because I told you guys I wanted new Monster Hunter for the Switch. But for the people that are not interested in Monster Hunter Rise, keep in mind, as Gaijin Hunter has been saying, and as I kind of been reinforcing that idea, Capcom currently has two teams working on Monster Hunter. One of them does these more offshoot titles like Monster Hunter Rise, and the other team is more set on the main titles like Monster Hunter World. And the team that was working on Monster Hunter World will be working on a Monster Hunter for the next generation of hardware. So you can expect that in the future, but naturally first, their current priority is going to be Monster Hunter Rise for a couple of years. And obviously, I'm going to be covering both of those really hard because, it's just, it became my favorite game of all times. The main reason why I couldn't really cover Monster Hunter as much as I wanted in the past was because of the release delay between the Japanese release and the Western release. And it's by the time the games came out in the West, all of the content that you could do about it would have been done by people that actually speak Japanese, so there wasn't really a whole lot of room for me to grow based on that. So that's kind of why I dived headfirst into Monster Hunter World, because dude, global release, I'm gonna be able to actually cover this game properly. It's gonna be sick. And naturally, that was amazing for both me and the channel, but it does pose the question, okay, Rurikhan, so what next? Because at this point, I've put 2,700 hours, over 2,700 hours into Monster Hunter World and Iceborne. And, I could keep doing crazy builds and whatnot and just squeezing content as much as I could to last me until Monster Hunter Rise comes out. But ultimately, that's not really what I want to do. The reason why that's not what I want to do is because I've pretty much done most of the things that I want to do in the game. I'm not a speedrunner. I never said I was. Some people seem to be under this idea that I consider myself to be a top tier hunter, and it's never been the case. I'm not on the level of Kanta, I'm not on the level of Akantore, and I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to have fun in the game and trying to introduce as many people to the game as possible so that they can come and have fun. That's always been my objective with the channel. So what am I going to be doing next? Because one thing's for sure, I do not want to burn out on Monster Hunter, right? I want that when Monster Hunter Rise comes out, I want for me to go into it fresh. I don't want to be going into it and just thinking about the things that I did in World and the things, how would they correlate into Rise. No, I want to go into Rise like it's a completely new game. That's at least my idea. That's what I want to do in March, and as such, I want to be doing something else while we wait for the next Monster Hunter. So I took a look at the release calendar for the rest of the year, and there's really only one game in there that I really want to play, and that game is Demon's Souls Remake. But there is a catch, and the catch is that Demon's Souls Remake is a PlayStation 5 launch title, and the PlayStation 5 is going to be launching on the 12th of November in the United States, but it only launches on the 19th of November where I live. So whatever I end up doing for Demon's Souls is going to be at least 1 week late from pretty much most of the other people that are going to be covering that title. And that, as you can imagine, for a content creator is a bit of a bummer. On top of it, I'm probably not going to be able to do a PlayStation 5 review type situation because, most people will have the console in their hands 1 week ahead ahead of me. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of content creators that already have a PlayStation 5. You know, the bigger, the higher tier of content creators, they already have PlayStation 5s. They're already working on their reviews and doing all of that jazz. So that is going to be something that is quite simply not going to be possible for me to create too much content around, because I'm already going to be super late. And I already know that a lot of people at this point are going to be asking, Rurikhan, what about Cyberpunk? You're not excited about Cyberpunk? And personally, I'm actually not. Now, that does not reflect on Cyberpunk as a game, because I believe it's going to be a fantastic game. I think that for a lot of people, it's going to be the best game they've played their entire lives, which I think is a really good thing. But I think that for me, it's probably not really going to do it, because I don't tend to spend that much time in single player games nowadays, and I want to focus more on less games as opposed to focusing less on multiple games, if that makes sense, right? I want to, like, you know, actually narrow down the amount of games that I want to play, and I want to try playing them a little bit better, as opposed to just like, I'll play this and that and the other thing and everything. I've done quite a lot of that over the last couple of years, and I want to reduce that, because one of the things that I realized when I was playing, for instance, Red Dead Redemption 2, was that I did get to a point in that game where I was like, man, is this ever going to end? And that's not a point that you really want to get to in any game. And again, that's not a fault of the game at all, because it's ridiculously high quality. It's an amazing title. I actually think it's really, really good. But I think that it's just my personality. You get to a certain point in a single player game and I'm just like, I'm ready for it to be over. And I noticed that over the years that particular point happens sooner and sooner, which is why I like playing games with co-op elements to them much more than I enjoy single player games. And again, I'm not saying that everybody needs to look at it like I do. It's very much a personal preference. Some people like a certain kind of games. I like a different kind of games. So that's kind of like where I'm at right now, right? I want to play Demon Souls, but I really don't feel like playing anything else. There's also Godfall. I also want to check out Godfall, but after playing Marvel's Avengers, I just feel like so many looter games have burned me in the past that I find it hard to even get excited about them anymore. And when I eventually do get Godfall, I'm also going to be getting it on the PlayStation 5 so that I can play with my friends that are probably going to get it on the PlayStation 5 as well, which means that I will be playing the game with a 1-week delay from most other people, which, as we already discussed, is not the best thing to do in terms of a content strategy. And the more I thought about this, the more I yearned for simpler times. Back in the day where I didn't have to worry as much about video game release dates, about getting access to a certain video game so that I could compete in this YouTube algorithm search rankings, and whether or not the next video that I produce is going to completely nuke my channel from orbit. Like, you guys might not know this, but I actually spend more time thinking about which videos I should be making than actually making videos. And after I make the videos, I spend more time working on the thumbnail, the title, the metadata, and all of these other things that go into the videos than actually producing them, which is actually very frustrating for me. It's been frustrating for several years. So I figured, you know what? I want to go back to my content creation roots. And I know that for a lot of you guys, that was Dark Souls, but the very first videos that I actually produced were World of Warcraft. And I know that a lot of you guys are going to be disappointed about me going back to World of Warcraft, especially after the crapshoot that Battle for Azeroth was. This is something that's been on my mind for quite some time, and I feel like I just have to do it, even if just to get it out of my head, because at the end of the day, I need you guys to understand something. This isn't even about World of Warcraft. This is about me. This content that I'm going to be making is more about me than WoW itself. WoW is just kind of like the background noise. WoW is just a vessel for me to kind of like get back to the place where I was when I started creating content. And whether or not it's gonna work out, I don't friggin' know. One of the things that I do know is that I'm not gonna be able to do it here in this channel. I can't do it here because in this channel, I'm gonna be quite frank with you, I have too much to lose. To do this type of content that I plan on doing, I just have too much to lose. So I'm gonna be going back to my secondary channel, and I'm going to be creating quite a bit of content there. Now, what does that mean for this channel? You guys are asking, Rurikhan, are you going to leave this channel? Like, what's the deal? No, anything there is to report about like Souls content, Monster Hunter content, anything in that nature, or even like current gaming things that I find relevant, I'll still be posting here in the usual formats that you guys are used to. But the stuff that I'm going to be experimenting with is going to be happening a lot on Twitch. That's going to be twitch.tv/Rurikhan. And it's going to be happening on the secondary channel that I've aptly named Rurikhan Unleashed, because I'm not going to be censoring myself on that channel. I'm just going to be saying whatever the hell I feel like saying, whenever the hell I feel like it. I'm going to be marking all of my videos for the algorithm as light, what do they call it? Light profanity. I'm going to be marking all of them for light profanity. And look, if it doesn't monetize, it doesn't monetize. I just don't even care. It's just something that I feel like there's some baggage in here and I got to just let it out, and I have to do it. And you know, I'm going to do it. It's just that simple. I know that a lot of you guys will not understand why I'm doing this, why I feel the need to do this. And to be quite frank, I'm not sure I myself understand it, but I plan on finding out. I plan on taking the plunge and I plan on doing it. And like I said, like, things in here are still going to be just like they always were. It's just there's going to be some different stuff happening both on Twitch as well as on my second YouTube channel. If you guys want to support that effort, I really appreciate the sentiment. You can do so with, you know, using your Twitch Prime from Amazon, whatever, subbing over on Twitch, or you can click the join button in this channel, which also helps out. And you can subscribe to the other channel if you're curious to see where this journey takes me. But ultimately, this is going to be a journey that I will be taking. And if it works out, it works out. And if it doesn't work out, then I can just write it off as, hey, I've been creating content for so many years. I took a couple of months break to play some World of Warcraft and see what that was like. But that is going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button. If you did not enjoy it, as I'm pretty sure a lot of you didn't, then hit the dislike button, because feedback is important. I love you anyways. I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay strong, stay safe. Peace out.